Hello, you guys. Welcome to another live job search and career coaching session with me, Professor Heather Austin. I'm so excited that you guys could be here. I love seeing you in the chat. If you have not yet said hello, we are live in the chat. So type into the chat, say hello. Let us know where you're joining us from. If you are watching this on replay, also feel free to comment below where you're joining us from today. We have people from all over the world in the chat. I can see you guys already. Cindy, so happy to see you jump in early from Indiana. Let's see, Catherine, I'm happy you're here too. Catherine, by the way, is our moderator and she lives in the UK. So we have people from all over. We have someone from Lesotho, I think is how you say that. I don't even know where that is or if that's a country or a state, or I'm not even sure. Melanie is from Seattle. Happy to have you here, Melanie. James is here from Botswana. Happy to see you, James. We have upstate New York in the house. We have Karen from Michigan, Sherry from Columbus, Ohio, Amanda from Chicago. Hello, you guys. I would say hello to all of you if we had all the time in the world. If you can hear me and see me okay, give this video a big, huge thumbs up. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button. And if you have any friends that need to be joining us today, we are talking about scams, ghostings, and rejections in job hunting. I'm going to give you 3 smart moves that you need to make in late 2025 because you guys, before we know it, 2025 is going to be over. So hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you share this with a friend that could use it. We are going to jump right in. If you've ever joined me for a live stream before, you know that I ask a lot of questions. So make sure if you're not logged into YouTube and you want to join us in the chat and you want to ask a question so that I can answer it live, make sure you are logged in to YouTube so that you can do that. And by the way, you guys will have the chance to watch this on replay. And there's a lot of people that will be watching this on replay. So let's go ahead and jump right into everything that I want to teach you guys today. So again, we are talking about scams, ghostings, and rejections in job hunting. I'm going to share with you 3 smart moves to make in late 2025. If you have not put all your devices on Do Not Disturb, make sure you do that now. If you guys are joining me for the first time and you are like, who the heck is Professor Heather Austin? I actually used to be a professor. I'm a professor turned entrepreneur. And right here on this channel, we teach smart job search strategies to help you get unstuck and to help you eliminate the overwhelm and the frustration of the job hunt. Now, I'm going to be sharing a lot of success stories with you guys today. The other thing I'm going to be sharing with you is we have a very special flash offer for the Career Advancement Toolkit AI edition for career and job search mastery. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we get through today's session. Oh, and by the way, my slides are not coming through, so hopefully you guys, my connection's okay. Let me see if I can get these on. And for some reason, I don't know why it's not working. Let me try this again. Oh, geez, this has never happened before. Give me a second, you guys. I wonder if my connection is strong. Can you guys hear me and see me? Hopefully it is. Let me see if I can get this advancing for you because all the slides I'm sharing with you has a lot of content in it. And if not, you know what? We're going to just go through it without all the stuff. But here we go. This is our introductory flash offer for our Career Advancement Toolkit AI edition. We'll talk more about that as we go throughout the presentation. The other thing I'm going to be sharing with you, if you stick around until the end, we are doing a bonus career and job search coaching session on Thursday this week, October 2nd. So if you want to join us for that, this is going to be a private Zoom room setting that only you guys and me will be at. It's not going to be available for the entire world. So stick around so you can learn where you can get your invite only link. Now, I want to share a quick clip with you guys, and I want you to tell me in the chat really quickly, what is your biggest job search challenge? So type into the chat what your biggest job search challenge is. While you're typing that in, I want to know also if this clip resonates with you. So I'm going to pop this up really quick and tell me at the end of this if you can resonate with this.
Okay. Can we just talk about how hard it is to get a job right now? I got laid off around a month ago, but I've been applying, but I feel like I barely even get a response back of like a yes or no or any of that. And I wish there was an easier way to do these like mass applications instead of just doing it through LinkedIn or Indeed, because I feel like there's hundreds and hundreds of applicants and like you'll probably won't hear back from the companies that you're applying for. But yeah, it's rough out here.
Okay, Does any of that resonate with you? She said, it's rough out there. Now, we're going to be covering some smart moves that you guys can make so that you're not going through the exact same thing that she is. But does that resonate with you? Let me see in the chat where you guys are in terms of your biggest challenges. Let's see. Sherry says getting interviews. Ryan says fake jobs, and boy, are they on the rise. KCXU 92.7 FM, hello, says using AI agents that will search LinkedIn profiles, select job offers, then create a personal cover letter automatically. Ashley says getting callbacks is her biggest challenge. Daryl says finding the right job opportunities to apply for. Amanda says getting an interview that sticks after going through the next steps and then nothing. Oh, isn't that the most frustrating thing? Esther says appropriate job titles, scams. Yes, yes, and yes to all of it. Now, I know that makes sense to you, the clip that I just shared. We are going to be going through 3 things today. So take notes. If you guys have a favorite pencil and a notepad or wherever you take notes, maybe on your computer or your iPad, take some notes here. We're going to be talking about how to optimize your materials for AI and recruiters. That's going to be the first smart move that we cover. We're also going to be talking about how to go beyond applications with smart networking strategies. I'm going to be sharing with you guys templates. You're going to want to take screenshots of what I'm going to share with you. I'll tell you when to take a screenshot, by the way. And then we're also going to be talking about staying visible on LinkedIn. And if you guys have seen my channel before, LinkedIn is one of my favorite things to talk about. It has so many benefits and advantages in the job market. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can stay visible and get noticed so that you're not coming up against scams, rejections, and ghosting. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is how to optimize your materials for AI recruiters. So what do I mean by materials? Your career materials, your resume, your LinkedIn profile. It could even be a cover letter if you need to write a cover letter for a job, and even like job interview follow-up materials. So the very first thing that you need to keep in mind, take notes, you guys, is you need to make sure your resume is updated with role-specific keywords. So what do I mean by this? And by the way, I also show you guys how to use AI to do all of this, not in today's presentation, but in the Career Advancement Toolkit. So stick around so that you guys can learn more about that as we get through today's presentation. So when we are updating our resume for role-specific keywords, we always want to make sure at the very top of our resume, we have our job title that we are applying for, and then we always have three key specific skills that they are asking for. Now, I share a prompt with you in the toolkit, and I've shared this before on my channel, that you can go and ask AI to help you look through the job description and give you those top 3 skills that the company is looking for that you need to have on your resume. Now, in addition to the top part of your resume, we have not just the job title and the 3 key skills. We also have your summary at the very top. This is not an objective statement. This is not telling the company what you want. It's telling the company what you can do for them and how you can help them solve their biggest pain points. Now, I have an entire formula that I share with you in the toolkit for how to do this in that summary. Now, I am still a big proponent of this summary because if I'm a recruiter or I'm a hiring manager and I want to see what you do, I can basically look at your summary and I can almost make a decision if I want to hire you based on your summary. But we have to have all of those keywords inside that summary, and especially at the very top of the resume. Now, after the top part of your resume, you're always going to have some sort of work experience section. This has to be packed with keywords as well. Now, I am a big proponent of you using AI to help you get the perfect results-driven achievement statements on your resume. However, you have to make sure when you are using AI that it doesn't sound like it's coming from AI. You're not going to copy and paste it. You're going to take it, evaluate it, change it into your own words, change some things around if you need to, and then make sure those bullet points are keyword specific to the job posting and that they are results driven. Now, in the toolkit, of course, I talk all about how to do this, and I even have prompts for you on how to write the perfect bullet point. Now, as we go throughout the rest of the resume, you'll have either an education section, you might have a training section, you might have a certification section. I kind of look at all of these as similar sections. If you don't have a formal education or you've never completed college, you can add certifications or add some sort of training. You want to show them that you are up to date in your field or that you're working to get up to date in some way with some sort of training or some sort of certification. Now, after the education part, we also have what I call your skills and your other sections. Remember that every resume is going to be so different and so unique to every person. Your number one goal is to write a resume that shows your best possible light. Not all of us are going to have volunteer experience. Not all of us are going to have awards and honors. Not all of us are going to have professional memberships. There's lots of different things you can add here. You have to make sure you're adding stuff that complements the top part of your resume, which is your summary and your work experience. And then you're adding that below the work experience. And for some of you, if you have less than 7 years of work experience, you're only going to have a one-page resume. You're not going to need all this. For those of you that have more than 7 years of work experience and you can list multiple positions, you can then pick and choose what other sections do I want the employer to know about, where I can really add keyword specific skills to not only get past the AI friendly systems that all the companies are using, but the applicant tracking systems and all that stuff. You have to make sure that you have keywords and sections that are going to hit on the keywords inside of the job description. Now, in addition to the resume, the second part to this is making sure that you are keeping it formatted properly and making sure that it's ATS friendly. I have shared this before. I have a resume on the left and I have a resume on the right. The resume on the left is formatted properly for ATS. The resume on the right is more of a graphic. It's a nice looking resume, but ATS can't read that because of the columns, the tables. When you're looking at having a resume that's ATS friendly or AI friendly, you want to make sure you are eliminating images. You want to make sure you don't have those graphics or charts on there. You want to make sure you use clear hierarchy. You want to use keywords and phrases like we mentioned before. And then of course, easy to use fonts. Now I'm going to bring on, one of our toolkit users who was a graphic designer, and she actually had to have 2 different types of resumes. But what she found is when it came to getting her resume seen through an ATS system, she had to scrap all the fancy stuff on her resume. And you have to keep it nice and simple and keep the formatting clear and concise. Now, I have another question for you. On a scale of 1 to 5, you probably have some sort of working resume at some point. On a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you that your resume is ATS friendly? So type into the chat, how confident are you that your resume is ATS friendly? Now, in addition to the resume keywords and making sure everything is role specific and formatting on your resume, you also want to make sure that you align your LinkedIn headline and your summary with your resume. Now, we could talk about LinkedIn and the headline and the summary all day long. We're not going to do that today. I do share more about that inside the toolkit, but I want to share a quick screenshot with you of what it looks like when you have your headline on your LinkedIn profile. Your LinkedIn headline needs to be concise. It needs to be compelling. It has to have some sort of keyword-rich statement. Use those keywords and those phrases specifically from the job posting, or if it's multiple job postings or your specific industry. Make sure you also highlight any unique skills or relevant experience that you have. Now, I have a specific strategy on how to write a headline for a LinkedIn profile. There's 3 different ways. We don't have time to get into all of it today, but just know that if you can get some of those keywords in there in the front end of that, and then talk a little bit more about what you specialize in, and that's what's going to show up for recruiters when they're going to search your profile. But you have to have keywords in that headline. Now, I'm going to take you really quickly through the about summary on LinkedIn so you can see the different places that you are going to be having your keywords in your LinkedIn summary. So when I teach about how to write a LinkedIn summary, I have a very specific strategy on how to do this too. And this strategy, I'm telling you, if you make changes using these tips and using these strategies today, you'll be getting recruiters and the correct job alerts straight to your inbox just by making a couple changes or tweaks to your LinkedIn profile. Now, I like to start the very first paragraph off by talking a little bit about your career, what you're most passionate about, talk a little bit about what drives you most, why you're dedicated to this type of work or dedicated to the industry. You can also describe your area of expertise in this paragraph and kind of mention a little bit about who you are and who you help. Now, the second paragraph to this is going to be where you're talking more about the number of years that you've worked in the industry or your experience in the industry. You're talking about your commitment to solving some of the industry's largest pain points. You could even talk a little bit about volunteer work that you've done. I also love to have you mention something fun and something interesting that shows your personality and character in paragraph 2 of your LinkedIn summary. Keep in mind, when you are writing your LinkedIn summary or you're on LinkedIn at all, what you can do is be a little bit more personal, right? You can actually speak in first person, like you can say I, me, or my. When it comes to writing your resume, it's very formal. We don't use first person in a resume. It's almost like a totally different language that you have to speak, right? But on LinkedIn, you can now start adding a little bit more character. After the 2 paragraphs, I love to see you have some sort of professional career highlights section. This can actually be taken directly from your resume. Notice I have professional career highlights in all caps. That's what I want you to do on your LinkedIn, in your LinkedIn summary. LinkedIn does not allow you to add any special formatting or anything like that. You can add symbols, you can add emojis. I would say go really light on the emojis if you're even going to use them. You could even go to my profile on LinkedIn and you can copy my exact same symbols that I use to actually make something look like a bullet point. Now, these career highlights, again, are going to come directly from your resume. You want to think of them as like your top achievements, the things that you want the employer to know, projects you've worked on. Talk about whatever accomplishment it is that is some of your top accomplishments. Now, after your professional career highlight section, you're going to have an expertise section. This I also put in caps, and the reason why is because I'm kind of signaling, hey, this is a whole new section on my profile, and this is where I'm adding some of those keyword, those rich keywords from the job description. Now, inside of the toolkit, I give you guys AI prompts to help you get to this point. I also give you templates to help you get to this point. All the good stuff to help you get to this point. But just know you have paragraph 1, paragraph 2, a professional career highlight section, and then an expertise. Now, the other thing you have to do inside of your LinkedIn summary is you need to include top skills. LinkedIn allows you to add 5 skills to your LinkedIn summary. These are skills that you want to be known for. These are skills directly found in the job posting or within your industry. You only have the opportunity to add 5, so make sure those are good. Don't be afraid if you have to list some of the skills in your expertise section. Don't be afraid to relist those. You can keep those skills on there. Now, we could talk about skills on LinkedIn all day long because this is a huge hot topic, especially with how recruiters are searching for profiles right now and how profiles are coming up in search engines and how LinkedIn is deciding what jobs are the right fit for you. The skills section is one of those things I would love to see you spend a lot more time on than you probably are. And of course, inside the toolkit, I show you guys exactly how to work that skills section. Now, my next question for you is, when was the last time that you updated your LinkedIn profile or your headline or your summary? When was the last time you updated your headline or your summary? And I'm going to go back to the chat. If you guys have a question, make sure you pop question in front of your question, because when you do, and Catherine already told you guys in the chat, Catherine, I love you. If you do have a question, it will pop up yellow if the word question's in front there. I actually even think if you put a Q in front, it pops up yellow as well. So then I can see it a little bit more. Pat, so happy to have you here. Pat says, doesn't the length of your resume depend on the experience you have? Yes, 100%. If you have 7, and if we're going by like a rule of thumb, and there's not always like a hard and set rule, but if you have 7 years of experience or less, I like to see you with a 1-page resume. If you have more than 7, you can go to a 2-page. You do need to make sure you research your industry really well, though. So we do help folks get like engineering positions at Google. They might have 20 years of experience, 15 years of experience. A lot of times Google's like, we do not want to see your resume unless it's a 1-page. So you have to make sure you do your due diligence on your end in terms of the industry and the company you're interviewing with, because sometimes they only want to see a 1-page, even if you do have 15 years. For the most part, I like to see you with a 2-page if you have more than 7 years of experience. Yes. Okay. In terms of updating, Sherry says today. I love it, Sherry. Good job. Karen, happy that you're here. Says yesterday. Vicky says this week. Amanda says a month ago. Esther says months. That's okay, Esther. Daryl says this month. Chantel says this past September. Cindy says back in July 2025. Mark says updated the LinkedIn profile last week. Okay, so you guys are on it. That's why you guys got to stick around, because I have such amazing content to share with you that is going to help you with your job search and those frustrations that you guys shared earlier. Now, here's the thing. I do have inside of our toolkit, we do have a brand new module where we go through perfecting your resume, your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile. Now, with that module, you also get the Career Experts template and example vault. There are over like 120 templates and examples in there for you to not only write your resume, not only write your LinkedIn profile and your cover letter, but all of your job interview follow-up responses. And we also just created a brand new resource called our Essential LinkedIn Profile Blueprint. I want to say this is like a 12-page, 13-page guide, maybe even more, of how to update every single section of your LinkedIn profile. So what you'll do if you decide to join us in the toolkit is you'll download your guide, and you'll go through the lessons inside of module 3 and walk through exactly every part of your LinkedIn profile. And I don't want you to spend a ton of time on it. I want to make it as streamlined as possible. So these resources work together to help you get there. Now, at the very end, I will be sharing with you guys more about our introductory flash offer for the Career Advancement Toolkit AI Edition. If you want to take a sneak peek while I'm still live, you can scan that QR code that you see on the screen, or you can go to heatheraustin.online/flash. So that is going to be there for you. In fact, let me pin something to the very top of the chat for you guys, because I am going to be also introducing a fast action bonus for anyone that decides to join us inside of the toolkit. Today, if you decide to join us, you will get a fast action bonus. I'll pin that in a second. Okay, the next part to this is using AI strategically for drafts, but to personalize everything. So one of the biggest mistakes I see job seekers make, and pretty much anyone, if you guys look at people online and anyone that publishes content online, or anyone that posts on LinkedIn or anything like that, or if you get an email from someone, most likely, if they have used AI and have not personalized the message in any way, most likely you'll be able to tell. Now, let me know if you guys have actually noticed a little bit more of that lately. I do love to see you guys personalize everything. I like to see you use AI, but you have to make sure you are not copy and pasting it directly, and not using the innuendos and the things that it uses on when you're using it. Two of my favorite resources, you guys know this, chat GPT. So chat.openai.com, or you could even just go to Google and search ChatGPT. If you guys don't have this, please download it. This is going to change everything for you. I meet with job seekers a lot during the week, and I'm so surprised by how many of them are not using AI. And let me tell you, it is going to change the game for you if you start using this, or if you haven't. And you also need to know how to use it properly. So I like to use ChatGPT, or you guys could even use Google Gemini. If you just go to gemini.google.com, that's also there for you. Those are both two free resources that you can use to help you streamline your job search. Now, inside of the toolkit in module 5, we actually go through how to use AI in the job search. So we talk about leveraging tools like ChatGPT. And by the way, when you do this, it saves time, it enhances your materials, it allows you to gain insider insights. And we have found, and research has given us this data as well, that job seekers that use AI not only land job interviews faster, but they actually end up getting paid more money. So we want both of those things for you. So inside of module 5, you we'll learn how to use AI in the job search. Plus, we have our ultimate AI job search prompt guide. I don't even know how many prompts are in there, but it covers every single phase of the job search so that you can start asking AI to help you, not from just square one, like what job should I be applying for? These are my expertise. Here are my skills. But then we go all the way through to salary negotiation. So every single phase of the job search is covered inside of Module 5. Now let's jump really quickly. And by the way, let me know in the chat, are you guys currently using AI in your job search? So if you are, and you know what, you guys are amazing, all of you that are here today, and I'm sure I'm going to see tons of yeses. If you're not, that's okay. Don't be shy to type no, but let me know in the chat if you are using AI in your job search or just anything, any part of your life. Now, let's talk about the second smart move that you need to make, and that is to go beyond applications with networking. So I'm going to share with you guys 4 things that you need to do when it comes to going beyond these applications with networking. The first thing is you need to build your dream team target company list. Now, I'm going to give you guys a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this. You can make your own target company tracker. We do have one inside of the toolkit for you already made. We also have a job search organizer in there so you can keep track of all of the jobs that you're applying for. But when it comes to your target company tracker or your dream team list, this is where I want you guys to start making a list of companies that you want to work for. You're going to pick the industries or list the industries, the location. You're going to talk a little bit about the company culture highlights. You're going to list any relevant job titles that company might be hiring for, or maybe there is no job title, or no jobs posted that you know of that you want to go and apply for. And if that's the case, that's okay. We still want you to have a company tracker because that's how a lot of those hidden job opportunities, or where a lot of those hidden job opportunities come from. Inside the tracker, you're also going to list like reasons for applying for the position, or why you're interested, your application status if you have applied, your connections on the inside, which is really, really, really big. And then of course, any contact information. Now on this channel, I have so many videos about networking. I have so many videos about why referrals are super important. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go throughout today's presentation. But if you have this target company tracker, it's going to save you so much time. You're not going to be applying for random companies that you just don't want to work for. So we want you to keep it streamlined and save time in the process. Now, my next question for you, and maybe you don't have your company tracker yet, but what companies are on your dream team list, or what companies would you put on that dream team list? Type that into the chat. Give me at least 1 or 2 in there. I want to see what you guys are looking at and companies that you like to work for. Yes, Cindy says, I go between Gemini and ChatGPT. Chantel says, Gemini helps me in every aspect of my personal environment. I love it. Don't you feel like it's kind of like it could be a therapist. I mean, it is a therapist. There's a lot of things it can do. Let's see. Karen says, you have to have a LinkedIn account these days. It is a must if you're looking for work. Yes, I'm popping that comment up, Karen, because it is so true. You have to have a LinkedIn account. And not only that, but your LinkedIn profile needs to be fully optimized. Now, we're not talking about optimizing your profile today, but just know you need to have that headline and that summary with those keyword specific skills. Cindy, I use ChatGPT a lot for my job search. I love it. Let's see. Yep, I use AI to update my resume. Perfect. She rocks, Austin. I love that. It says using AI in job search plus resume and cover letter edits. So good, you guys. All right, let's see. Where are we? Okay, the next thing that I want you to keep in mind when we're talking about how to go beyond applications with networking is reaching out to employers or employees and hiring managers. Now, I have 2 templates that I'm going to share with you. So get your screenshot tools ready. These are the templates, and I just updated these yesterday. These are the templates I want you to use when you are either reaching out to an employee or reaching out to a hiring manager. Now, remember, if we go back to our dream team target company list, we have the companies on our list. They may or may not have positions listed, but we know exactly, who those companies are. And then we're now going to start reaching out and networking with the people that are on the inside. So here's the first template for you. This is reaching out to an employee, and I could read this. Maybe I'll read it. I'll read it. This is just a lot of text. I'll read it while you guys are taking your screenshot. So if you don't know how to do a screenshot, figure that out really quick and then take a screenshot of this. Okay, so reaching out to an employee. So you're basically going to say, hi, whoever the employee is. I came across your profile while researching, give the company name, and was impressed by your experience in, and then give that shared field of area, right? I'm currently exploring new opportunities where I can apply my background in, and then give your expertise or field, and then list the company name again. Stands out as an organization doing meaningful work. Now, that might not make sense as I just read it because of all the things you have to put in there. But notice wherever the red is, that's where you are going to be putting in the information. Use this template as a starting point. You can also draft up this template on your own. You can then go to AI and ask it to help you make the template better or make the message better. Here's where we go on to basically network and connect with this person. We say, if you're open to it, I'd love to ask you a few quick questions about your experience there and what it's like to be part of the team. I'd also be grateful for any advice or referrals you might be willing to share. So this is where not only are we trying to get their information about working for the company, but we're also asking for referrals. Now, we talk so much about referrals on this channel and networking and how important that is. So getting that in there, I'd also be grateful for any advice or referrals you might be willing to share is super, super important. Now, you guys ready for the next one? Because this one is going to be reaching out to a hiring manager. You could even use this same thing for a recruiter. You could even use this same message for a thought leader or a key decision maker within the company. So think of it that way. Okay, here's our reaching out to a recruiter template. You're going to say, hi, whoever the recruiter's name is, right? My name is so-and-so. I recently applied for, and then give the job title, whatever position with, list the company name. I've heard so many great things about the team and culture at this company. I'm excited about the opportunity to bring my skills in, and then list some of your skills or your expertise to support your goals. Then we're going to go on and we're going to say, if there's any additional info I can share to support the hiring process, I'd be happy to provide it. I'd love the opportunity to contribute to the impactful work happening at such and such. Now, you could tailor this even more. You could take this into ChatGPT or Google Gemini and you could ask it to help you make it even better. You could feed in the job description if you want. You could feed in the company's mission, their vision, ask it to help you tailor it more toward that. But this is a really, really, really good starting point for you if you guys have not yet done this. If you have not been reaching out to employees or hiring officials, key decision makers within the companies that you are applying for, you need to be doing that right away. Now, the next part to going beyond your applications with networking is to, again, ask for referrals and informational interviews. Now, in that message that I shared with you before, the employee message, we basically are asking for referral and sort of an informational interview, right? We're kind of saying, hey, can you give me more information? Now, if you wanted to take it a step further, you could say, would you mind if we sat down and had a quick conversation over Zoom, or you're in my local area, would you mind meeting me for coffee? Or would you mind just hopping on a quick phone call with me? I would love to know more about the company. I would love to know more about the things you're doing. By the way, this is a fantastic thing to do if you already have an interview scheduled and you don't know a lot about the company and you want to get an insider's perspective. Asking for an informational interview, going to LinkedIn, finding who works for the company and asking for that is such a powerful tool. So keep that in mind. Now, the next thing is to follow up after applying to stay top of mind. Now, I want to give some thoughts here on the follow-up, because if you look at standard follow-up strategy, a lot of people and career strategists will tell you, get your application in and make sure you follow up within a week. I actually think you get your application materials in and you follow up immediately. Like, you let them know that everything is submitted. You let them know that you're super excited about the opportunity to help them grow their team or move forward with their mission or whatever it is, and letting them know right away. Don't wait a week. I would say get that submitted right as soon as you get the application materials in. And then if you don't hear anything back, then let's wait 5 to 7 business days before we actually follow up again. And by the way, inside the toolkit, we have all the templates for you for your first follow-up, your second follow-up, your third follow-up, your follow-up after a video interview, after a phone interview. You're constantly keeping this loop going until you actually get a job offer or a rejection, which hopefully we don't want you to have the rejection, but you're constantly following up and keeping top of mind during this entire process. Now, here's the other tool I wanted to mention. I know I mentioned this a lot here. If you guys are having a hard time getting in touch with them on LinkedIn and maybe they're just not responding to your follow-up, or maybe you're trying to reach out to employees or hiring managers within the company and they're not responding to you on LinkedIn, you can use a tool called hunter.io, and there's a lot of them out there. Hunter.io is free. I have used this many, many, many times with my clients before. You go in, you enter the company's website address, you enter the person's name, and it will give you their email address. So then you can email them. Now, we're not going to spam them, right? We're not going to be annoying, but we still want to be able to reach out to them because some people don't always see their LinkedIn messages until weeks later if they're not constantly on the platform. So make sure you guys use tools like hunter.io to actually do your follow-up after the interview or after the application. Now, my next question for you, then I'm going to take some questions in the chat. What's your biggest fear when it comes to networking? So type into the chat, what is your biggest fear when it comes to networking? Yes, I love all these questions. I love it. Catherine says, for those of you who don't have a LinkedIn account and are considering opening one, Heather has some amazing videos of the best practices on how to open one. I do. You could even, listen, if you go to the internet and you just type Heather LinkedIn, you're going to see all my videos. So you can start watching those. I mean, there's some old ones. So I would say get the newest ones or watch the newest ones. All right. Is it Stephen? Hello. Stephen says, I got your question up here, Stephen. Would it be better to have smaller companies because so much competition for the big name companies? I actually like to see a mix of companies. So if you guys have seen, I've talked about this a lot on this channel where I actually have you in your dream team company list or in your tracker. I like to see you have a mix of like mid, small, and large size companies, just because there's opportunities at all different sizes. And I wouldn't say don't go apply for a big name company because of there's so many employees, or because sometimes they're the ones doing the most hiring. So I would definitely say have a mix of small, medium, and large, right? Yes, I love all these companies that you guys have listed. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna pop up another question here. Let's see if we can get Mark. Mark, happy to see you. Says, for those who have tried reaching out directly to companies/hiring managers, what has been your response so far? Oh, I'm wondering, Mark, if you're asking people in the chat. So this is something that you have to constantly be doing. It's not something it's not a one and done. You're always going to be reaching out and networking. In fact, if you are on the job hunt, which most of you are that are here today, and you're actively in that job hunting phase, this is something that I want you to be dedicating to every single day. So we start with that company tracker, and then we go in and we start targeting people that work for each of those companies. Of course, you're going to have tailored messages to all of them. Some people are going to respond, some people aren't, and that's just how it is. You just have to keep at it, and that's going to give you your best results. I love it. Okay, let's move on to our third smart move, and that is to stay visible on LinkedIn. So when it comes to LinkedIn and it comes to staying visible, there's a couple things I want you guys to keep in mind. I would love to see you at least posting once a week where you're sharing some sort of insight, you're sharing some sort of win, or you're sharing some sort of industry news. Anything that you can do to stay visible and stay top of mind on LinkedIn is going to come back around more than you might know. So make sure you post at least once a week. If you're kind of scared of posting, just start once and then maybe post again in 2 weeks or whatever. But I would say get into the regular habit of posting. I also want to see you commenting thoughtfully on other people's social posts, especially following companies that are on your dream tracker and following people within the companies so that you can start commenting on their posts. The other thing that you need to do when it comes to LinkedIn is to showcase your skills through your endorsements and your recommendations. Now, we are not going into detail today on skills and endorsements and recommendations on LinkedIn, but if you can start building that skill list and start getting endorsements for those, and then also start getting recommendations on the platform, like reaching out to other people to ask for recommendations, that's going to go a long way too. Now, inside of the toolkit, I give templates for all of this. We talk a lot about those skills. We talk about how to order them. We talk about which ones to use, which ones not to use, how to ask for endorsements, and then of course, how to ask for recommendations. The other thing, always make sure that your profile is active. And if you don't have a profile, get it created as quickly as possible and start going through and optimizing I actually have 7 to 8 different sections that I have you optimize. And then let's start staying visible by making weekly posts. I want to share this screenshot with you really quickly. This is from Sprout Social. If you're thinking about, and by the way, I don't follow this. I need to do better about this. But if you want to get more engagement on your posts, this is showing you in this chart the best times and days to post. Now, of course, we know Saturday and Sunday, not a lot of people are on the platform. Monday, people are still trying to recover from the weekend and get their work underway. Best times to post, if you're going to start posting once a week, which I want you to do, is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then it gives us our time from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I would say look at your local time and do it that way. Don't, if you're on Eastern, post 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. If you're on Pacific, same thing. You're going to get different engagements at different times, but I would highly recommend getting those either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mid-morning or early morning posts in, and that should be a good starting point for you. Now, I'm going to answer questions in just a second, but I want to know, based on what I've shared with you guys today, what's one action step that you are going to take to stay ahead of the job market? So type into the chat everything that I shared with you. What is one action step? Now, we had over 2,000 people. We always get about 2,000, sometimes 3,000 people that register for our events. When we do these live sessions, a lot of people are going to be watching on replay. So thank you for those that are here with us live. Type into the chat one action step that you want to take. We do get lots of emails every day. A lot of you emailed me before this event talking about the scams that you're getting, the rejections, that you're tired of the rejections. You're not sure what's wrong with your material. You're applying for positions that you think are the perfect fit. You get through the interview process and then you're rejected, or maybe you are the perfect fit and you're not even invited in for the interview. Now, we do know that AI is changing the way that hiring is done more than ever before. And that's why I want to invite you to join us inside of the Career Advancement Toolkit AI edition for career and job search mastery, so you can learn those specific skills to conquer the AI systems and to conquer the ATS systems so that you can get through the door for the interview and then ultimately the job offer. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of background on what the toolkit is. It's your ultimate source for navigating every step of your job search using AI. So we talk about planning and your personal branding, all the ways to interviews and salary negotiation. I'm going to share a couple of success stories with you guys, and then I'll show you guys exactly what's inside the toolkit, and then I'm going to answer some questions for you. So Serena wrote in and said, I landed my dream job as a marketing manager. She said, I followed all of Professor Heather Austin's advice from creating the resume and the cover letter to the interview process to revamping my LinkedIn profile and much more. She said, I'm so glad that I purchased her program because it made a world of a difference. Josh wrote in and said, after being laid off, I found your toolkit and it was an absolute game changer. He said, I was getting interview requests like crazy and ended up landing a job for over $50,000 more per year. He says, 100% the best investment ever. Let's see. Robert says, I might have to put my glasses on for this one. He says, I used your resume template and followed all of your instructions to the letter. and landed an interview with a great company that I was interested in. He says, I was thrilled to know that you provided everything I needed to prepare to land the position. And he says, thank you so much. Kevin wrote in and said, I finally got a job offer. He says, thanks to Heather and all of her help. In fact, every interview I had, I received an offer from. Now, I'm going to share with you guys, I talked to you a little bit about one of my toolkit users, Kelly, who was the graphic designer. I'm going to bring her on for just a second so that you guys can hear her story about the ATS-friendly resume, even though she was in the graphic design field. So here she goes.
So I have been a graphic designer for 15 years. I had worked various jobs and recently got a job at my dream job as a visual communications instructor at the community college where I started.
Tell me a little bit about your job search challenge or biggest frustrations that you were having before you invested in the toolkit.
I was applying to a lot of different positions that I was qualified for, but I wasn't hearing back from them. I began searching of reasons, why am I not getting called back? As a graphic designer, your portfolio is everything. And my portfolio was there, but what I discovered was that my resume was lacking. So I started YouTubing and found you, and from there learned that my layout was not conclusive in the right environment for a bot to read over. It was looking at it as an image instead of text like it should be. After watching many of your videos, I was like, I need to have a plain Jane, better formatted resume. So I have my plain, the template that you gave resume, and then I have a fancy one that I take to job interviews.
That's so smart. Like, what specific milestones or successes have you had as a result of using the toolkit? You mentioned earlier you're in your dream job.
Before I landed this job, so job before last. I had worked in the hunting industry for 8 years as their graphic designer in-house. And that's where I was kind of stagnant in my job search. And so I kind of got really determined I want to find a better job. I started with your toolkit, redid my resume, complete, overhaul, of course, overhauled my portfolio, and started applying to jobs and started getting twice as many interview requests. One of those interview requests came in the form of a defense contractor. They were really interested in me. So I came and interviewed for the job. I went from making $40,000 a year to $57,000 a year. And I think that was based on my resume. The toolkit also helped with applying for this visual communications job. I really appreciated the AI prompt kit that you've added. It really helped me as far as like a jump off point. I could put in, like you suggested, put in the description for the job, extract the keywords. What do I need to put in my resume? What do I need to be saying? How do I need to word this? It did it. I put it together and submitted it for this job and got it.
Would you say the AI/chat GPT part was the most helpful resource, or inside the toolkit, what would you say would be the most valuable?
No, definitely the most valuable was the lessons about the resume template. Not the template, but yes, the template itself. But if you only had the template, you wouldn't know how to correctly fill it in. So without the lessons, learning about, quantitative statements, qualitative statements. Mine was more qualitative because it's hard to quantify. But those tips and tricks and just lessons that you taught in there helped me fill out my resume. So yes, the template was great and wonderful, but it was the lessons of how to do it. And then even it continued to help too when I got this job of how to resign from my previous job. And I resigned in such a way that they asked me to stay as a casual.
Wow.
So now I work part-time for them while I'm still working.
Wow. That's awesome. Good for you. So what would you tell a friend that was thinking about investing in the toolkit, or even a friend that was in the job search? What would you tell them about the toolkit?
It's an investment in yourself, and you deserve to have the job you want. You deserve to have a good job that you like going to, that you feel fulfilled. Investing in yourself and investing in this toolkit allows you to achieve that.
Okay, you guys, let me know if any of Kelly's story resonates with you. So, the thing I loved at the very end that she mentioned is you deserve to be in a job that you love. And she mentioned just investing in yourself to make sure that that happens. So, the interesting thing about her story is Kelly is a graphic designer, and she needed 2 versions of her resume, but she was getting into the process and realized, wait a second, I can't send my graphic version in if I want the ATS to actually read this resume. So she actually had another version that when she was meeting with people in person to show that she was a graphic designer, she had that other copy with her, which was such a powerful and a smart choice on her end that she did that. Now I want to share with you guys what is inside the toolkit. So I'm going to pop open this screen. Let me get my face back on this screen. And by the way, in the chat, type in there what did you guys learn about Kelly's story? Like, what resonated with you the most when it comes to what she shared with us? Now, I got to pull this over here so I can actually see it. So inside of the Career Advancement Toolkit AI edition for career and job search mastery, we have over 5 core modules. There's 25 expert-led lessons. There's AI enhanced strategies, bonus trainings. We have templates. We have expert sessions. I'm going to show you who those guys are in a second. Basically, everything you need to land a job faster, smarter, and with more confidence. So inside of the very first module is your welcome to the toolkit module. So this is where I actually show you how to use the toolkit properly. I show you how to get the most out of your experience. And then I also show you how to use the Career Experts template and example vault. This is one of the most powerful resources that you have. It's nicely organized for you so that you can actually say, hey, I'm in this part of the job search. I need to go to these templates and these examples, or I'm in this other part of the job search. I need to go to these templates and these examples. All of that is in that very first welcome module. Now, as we jump into module 2, can you guys see that? I know my face is in the way. But I'm gonna keep just showing you anyway. And by the way, use the you can either go to heatheraustin.online/flash. You guys can pull this page up. I do have a really special sneak peek offer for you for the first 20 people that join us. Plus, if you stick all the way until the very end of this, I have something special for you. So inside of module 2, we talk about mastering the job search. So this is where we go through the planning part of it all the way to the networking. Again, we have my 7-step job search life cycle in there so that you can see all of the 7 steps that are involved in the job search. We have our targeted job search strategies in there. And then of course, smart networking for hidden opportunities. So those 2 templates that I shared with you guys today, that's just kind of like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what you need to do when you're tapping into that hidden job market. Now, inside of module 3, which I shared with you guys a little bit earlier, this is where we dive into your resume, your cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile. So you're going to use this module to perfect all of these materials, because at the end of the day, this is what is going to show your best possible self to an employer or to the hiring manager or to the recruiter. So inside of module 3, we cover all of that. Inside of module 4, we go through acing the interview. So this is where we are talking about your first impressions all the way to your salary negotiation. So we cover the 3 phases of the interview process, which if you've ever seen my live trainings, I have specific processes in the interview that you are going to follow, or that it's broken into 3 phases, and there's specific processes that you follow depending on what phase you're in. Now, we also talk about overcoming anxiety in the interview. I know a lot of people freeze up when they get asked a question. We get you so prepared that no matter what question you get answered or asked in an interview, that you can answer it. You can be calm, you can be confident, and you can be in control of your answers. We talk about the most commonly asked interview questions, including the behavioral-based interview questions. And then we also cover how to confidently negotiate your salary and negotiation tactics. So that's one of my favorite modules, because then we know you're getting to the end, and we want to make sure that you are getting to the end and you're getting the job offer sent straight to your inbox, and you're getting it signed, and you're starting your new position. Now, inside of module 5 is where we go through how to use AI to your advantage, which, by the way, in every single module, I actually go through AI in every module, but we do focus highly on AI inside of module 5, where you have your prompts, You're going to learn how to use tools like ChatGPT effectively, how to research companies, how to prepare for your interviews. All that good stuff is wrapped up into Module 5. Now, if you decide to join us inside the toolkit, we have some amazing bonuses for you. So I'm going to just scroll through this page or this part as well. Our Career Experts Template and Example Vault. I know I talked to you guys a little bit about that. Our Job Interview Response Playbook. This is brand new. This is actually a 22-page playbook with proven strategies to help you answer common questions, including the behavioral-based interview questions. We have our Ultimate AI Job Search Prompt. This is 120 plus AI prompts. And by the way, once you start learning how to use AI on your own, you're going to get a lot better at being able to prompt it and learning how to get the best out of your experience with AI so that your materials are not sounding like it's coming from a bot, right? And then of course, we also have, I know you can't see it because my face is in the way, but we have our essential LinkedIn profile blueprint. This is brand new. This is a 12-page step-by-step starter kit to help you launch a high-impact LinkedIn profile that attracts the right recruiters to your inbox and the right job alerts. So again, keep that in mind. Those are all the bonuses. Well, those are some of the bonuses inside of the toolkit. Now, we also have included inside there your trackers. So you can take a screenshot of my tracker that I gave you guys earlier. You can go ahead and make your own tracker. We have it already made for you. And then we also have your job search progress tracker. So you also get access to those two bonuses if you decide to join us in the toolkit. And then we've invited some of our career experts to come in and give you bonus lectures inside the toolkit as well. So if you guys don't know Ben White, you need to go look him up on YouTube. He's awesome. I love Ben. I love Orlando. I love these guys so much. So Ben White is gives insider insights from a corporate recruiter. So this is where we talk exactly like does it look like on the back end for recruiters? How are they making their decisions on if they want to hire you or not? And how can you get in front of them and be the person that they bring in for the interview and then get the job offer? Orlando Haynes is a job search. If you don't know him either, look him up on LinkedIn. Orlando is a job search visibility or covers job search visibility, personal branding, and AI strategies. So these are two bonus lectures that we have included inside the toolkit, AI edition, that you'll definitely want to take a look at. I think both of them are like 60 minutes long. These trainings are so insightful. You guys are going to be well on your way to landing your life-changing job offer if you decide to join us inside the toolkit. Now, because I love people that take action fast, we have a fast action bonus. This is only going to go to the first 20 people that decide to join us in the toolkit. We are doing an invite only link, which by the way, it's on Thursday. So if you join us, make sure you join us before Thursday so that you can join us for this bonus session on Thursday, October 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern. You'll get an invite-only link to that. That's only going to go to the first 20 people that join us. So make sure you guys use that link. Make sure you, and let me see if I can pop it up again. I'll do this. Make sure you use that link. I'll give the QR code in just a second here. As you're thinking about the toolkit, I want you to think about this: the total value of everything, the lessons, the templates, all the trainings, all the guides, all the resources is worth more than $35.70. Okay. Now, we're not going to sell it to you for $35.70. In fact, we normally have this priced at $597. We're not even going to have you invest that. We do have our introductory flash offer though, where we are offering it for $247. So if you want to join us, make sure you use that link that's pinned in the chat or use the link in the comments below if you are catching this on replay. This offer is going to expire on Thursday. So Thursday, you won't be able to get this offer anymore. It's going to be gone. It's going to go to the normal investment of $597. So if you want to join us and you want to get in on that fast action bonus, make sure you are one of the first 20 people to get in there. Now you can go to heatheraustin.online/flash, or you can just take a picture of the QR code that you see here. Here's the cool thing. We do offer secure checkout, so you can use PayPal or you can use a credit card, but it is secure checkout. as you're going through that process, you'll see the page. Let me share a couple more success stories with you guys. Andrea wrote in and said, I acquired the Career Advancement Toolkit, and she also purchased Resume Mastery Pro, which is our standalone resume mastery course. She said, my heartfelt gratitude goes out to you for all of the outstanding content and helpful materials you provided. You fostered a supportive community, reassuring me that I wasn't alone and that numerous other gifted individuals, which you guys are the gifted individuals, were facing the same challenges as myself. So she goes on to talking about she's starting her new position as the director of marketing operations. And I was so thrilled when Andrea sent her message in. I'm like, Andrea, you're such a beautiful, amazing person. Here's Heather, which I love her name. She wrote in and says, I landed a job. She said, your resume and cover letter advice helped me get interviews with almost every company I submitted to and an offer that was well beyond the salary range that the company quoted. She says, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then, Tammy wrote in. She says, your course helped me secure a position with a pay rate $25,000 higher than I had ever been paid. She said a year later, she received another $7,000 increase. She says, next year, I joined the six-figure club. And here's what she says, you guys. She says, do exactly what Heather says and you will succeed. So yes, do exactly what I say and you're gonna have the same success as all these amazing people. Now, as a recap, and then I'm gonna jump into some questions, we have 5 core modules with 25 expert-led video lessons for you to jump into right away. You have instant access to this right away. We have our bonus number 1, which is your career experts template and example vault. We have bonus number 2, which is the job interview response playbook. Again, that's a 22-page playbook that walks you through all of the most important interview questions or most commonly asked. It gives you an exact step-by-step guide on how to answer them with examples, and then also how to use AI to help you with this as well. Bonus number 3 is the ultimate AI job search prompt guide. If you're a little bit confused on prompts or how to actually get the best response possible. Bonus number 4 is our essential LinkedIn profile blueprint, which is going to walk you through those main 7 to 8 sections on LinkedIn that need to be optimized if you want to start getting found by recruiters and landing those interviews. Bonus number 5 is the Dream Team Company Tracker and your job search progress tracker. You'll get links to those, instructions on how to use those. You actually even get like a PDF printout of those if you'd rather that as well. Bonus lecture number 1 is Insider Insights from a Corporate Recruiter. That's an additional lecture inside the toolkit. Bonus lecture number 2 is Job Search Visibility, Branding, and AI Strategies. Now, if you guys have not looked up Ben with Ben Talks Talent, that's like a tongue twister, or Orlando Haynes, make sure you guys look those two up online. 2 of my favorite career experts and recruiters in the corporate world. I love those guys to death. Our fast action bonus is our live career and job search coaching on October 2nd, which is in 2 days. So you'll get to join me again in 2 days for a bonus career and job search coaching session. That is private on Zoom. It's not going to be available to the world. It's only going to be available to you guys and my Career Academy members if you decide to join us, and that will only go to the first 20. And then, of course, lifetime access to the curriculum and the template. So normally we'd have this available to you for $597, but today we are going to give it to you or have it available to you for investment for $247. So make sure if you guys are interested in joining us, go to heatheraustin.online/flash and you'll be able to have instant access to all that amazing material. So I want to take a couple minutes to answer some questions, and then I do have something special for anyone that is still around, and I'm going to share that in just a second. Yes, Blue Earth. So we do have a career advancement toolkit that we've had for a long time, which is our original toolkit. The discount or the flash offer, those who have purchased the original whatever that is, right? The original toolkit, you guys also have access to this flash offer. So yes, go to heatheraustin.online to snag that. Okay, I'm going to go back up a little bit to the chat. Now, if you guys have a question, pop question in and I'll make sure that I get it answered. Daryl, happy that you could be here, says, how do you suggest adjusting your LinkedIn profile when someone is pivoting, trying to move into AI? So when you are transitioning industries, and in fact, by the way, Daryl, I'm going to kind of answer this in two parts, because when you're transitioning in industries, you want your LinkedIn profile to reflect the new industry, the new position, the new whatever it is. You want your profile to reflect that. So you have to tailor your profile to that new industry. Now, here's the cool thing that Daryl asked you guys, is trying to move into AI. I would recommend, and I can't remember if I mentioned this on the live training that I did last time, I would recommend to every single one of you that you are learning how to use AI in your job search in whatever way possible. And you're reflecting that inside your profile. So let's say you're a project manager or whatever it might be, an accountant or a business analyst. What I would highly recommend doing is researching AI tools that people in your industry are using, and I would highly recommend getting a certification, getting additional training in it, whatever it is, and get that into your profile. Because anyone that is in the corporate world or looking for a new position where AI is needed, you need to know how to use that. So I hope that answers your question, Daryl, in terms of how you're transitioning. And then I want all of you to be learning AI and putting that in your profile in terms of how is it affecting your industry and what tools are your industry using. Farouk says, Heather, is this the toolkit that I purchased previously, not AI Edition? No, this is the AI Edition toolkit is a brand new resource. We just launched this last month. We haven't had it out there for very long. We've had some awesome, amazing successes from it. So if you are thinking about getting it, make sure you get it so that you can join us for Thursday's call as well. Mark, while it's important to be persistent in following up, how does one avoid being a nuisance? Oh, this is a good question. I think most of us can kind of tell if we're reaching out too much without response. I always, again, my rule of thumb is I want you to follow up as soon as your application materials are submitted so that you're top of mind. And then I want you to follow up again 5 to 7 days later. Then I would even follow up again 5 to 7 days later after that. Here's the thing, working with job seekers from all over that I have noticed is they might follow up on a position and then they might decide, maybe they followed up twice, maybe 3 times. They might let like a month go by and they might follow up again. Now, you have to get to a point with each position that you have to cut your losses. So if you're not getting any response, 2 to 3 times tops, but we've had job seekers that have followed up a month later and they're like, oh yeah, we do want to bring you in for an interview. People get really busy, and you have to keep in mind that recruiters and hiring managers are receiving hundreds of applications. In fact, I had another video I was going to share with you. I'll share this on my next live stream, where a recruiter, she posted just this week on TikTok. She got 600 applications or 600 submissions for one position. And she said the crazy thing is that most of these people are really well qualified. So if you think about it in terms of you're up against 100, 200, 300 people, how are you now going to set yourself apart so that you're standing out, so that you're getting interviewed? This is, again, goes back to your referrals. It goes back to networking with the people inside the company, whether it's hiring managers, recruiters, key decision makers, even employees, and asking them for a referral or asking them for some sort of informational interview. You have to keep those steps in the job search process, or else you're never going to get seen. So good, really good question. I like that, Mark. All right, let's see. Oh, I love all these comments. So good. Shannon says, I understand having a LinkedIn is great, but what do you do when you've been a victim of fraud and was advised to remove social media accounts or not publish so much personal information? Shannon, you can actually have your profile. There's certain things on the back end of your profile that you can either just show your first name without a last name. You don't have to show a profile picture. I mean, I recommend you do. When you go to start using LinkedIn, you guys are going to notice that it's going to keep asking you, hey, come back and update this information. Come back and give us this information. Come back and give us that information. I don't recommend that you give it all the information that it wants. Now, I have a strategy for what you can put inside of your on your LinkedIn profile with the 7 to 8 sections to optimize. But LinkedIn is always asking for other information. They want to know how much money do you make? They want to know all sorts of other things. Do not share that with them. And if you're afraid of other people finding your profile or being a victim of fraud, only include your first name on there. Consider removing your photo. The only problem with removing your photo or not displaying your photo is that a lot of recruiters and hiring managers want to see a photo. The other thing that you can do, Shannon, and for anyone else that has experienced this, you can have certain information only show to your first and your second degree connections, or your third, like you can have certain information display. If you are not displaying information to, like, let's say, you're only displaying it to your first and second degree connections, you have to make sure you've gone in and you're connecting with those people on LinkedIn that you're trying to get an interview with, or else they're not going to be able to see you. So keep that in mind. I'm going to pop this screen up again too for those that want to join us inside the toolkit. That's going to be there for you. And then I'm going to answer a couple more questions. And then I have something special I'm going to share with those that are still here. Okay, Karen says, I just graduated in May. Should I move my education section after the work experience section? So Karen, I would love to know, first of all, what types of positions you are interviewing for. If you are a recent grad, I like to actually see your education section at the top, only because it's the most relevant. Now, here's the thing though, if you've been working for 10, 15 years, and let's say you went back to get an MBA or you went back to finish like a bachelor's degree or something, sometimes your work experience is going to be more valuable than that, and you can have work experience and then list your education. So everyone's situation is going to be different. It's going to depend on the industry. It's going to depend on what the rest of your work experience looks like. If you are looking at positions in the education or research or science field, a lot of times they want your education at the top no matter when you finished, and no matter how much work experience you have. So you kind of have to think about your special case, Karen, and kind of go from there. That's a good question. Oh, shoot, my chat's not scrolling anymore. Give me a second. I hate when that happens. Okay, there it goes. It kind of freezes on me for a second. Yes, I love it. Oh, Mark says, biggest fear when networking, coming off as needy or creepy. Oh, Mark, I get it. And here's the thing. A lot of people that I meet with, that's actually one of the first things they say is like, isn't that kind of weird for me to reach out? And once you get used to it, you're not bothered by it, because you realize like you're not coming off as creepy. You're just coming off as like, hey, I'm curious about what you do for the company, what your experience has been, things like that. The more you're doing it, the more comfortable you get. And of course, you're not gonna spam them, but if they're willing to give you information, then that's great. Yes, I love it. Okay, any last minute questions, you guys? I'm going to share something with you for all of those that are here today, which, by the way, you guys, if you have not yet hit the like button on this video, make sure you do that. Excuse me. Make sure you also subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that yet. Share this video with anyone that is in the job market that needs help job searching. Tap on the share button right below it. Send it to a friend, a family member, someone in your community, whoever's out there in the job market. Tell them to subscribe to the channel and learn some of these strategies that we talked about today. Now, because you guys have been with me the entire time, which we're already over, 60, 70, 80 minutes? I want to share something with you. So we do have our flash offer for the toolkit. For those that are here, I'm going to give you guys something special, and let me pop it into the chat, because I know that you guys are serious. For all of those who are here, if you are interested in joining us in the toolkit, this is only for you that are seeing this right now. I'm popping this into the chat. If you use the code SAVE50, so not only are you getting the flash offer, if you use the code SAVE50, it's going to save an additional $50 on the toolkit for you. So instead of getting it for $247, you're going to now get it for $197. So use the code 50 if you are interested in grabbing us in the tool, joining us in the toolkit. And that's because you guys stuck around this entire time. So thanks you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you keep an eye on this channel. We do live career and job search coaching sessions not every single, but on Tuesdays, we do release new videos as much as we can to help you guys combat the job market. We're seeing a lot of changes right now. So keep an eye on the channel so you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it so that you are landing your life-changing job offers. So thanks you guys for joining me. And Catherine, thanks so much for being in the chat moderating. And I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your day and your week.